This is Damon Jesperson, Vice Chairman of the Board of Selectmen. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Michael Doyle? Mike? I saw you earlier. Are you there still?
There we go. Yes, I'm here.
Alicia Greco?
Yes.
Jeff Walker?
Yes.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tracy Blaze?
Yes.
Ellen Jamieson? Is Ellen muted?
Yes.
Thank you. Julie O'Brien?
Yes.
Martha Taylor?
I don't think Martha has audio.
No, I've got it now. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Martha.
Martha.
Hi.
Chief Riley?
Yes.
And Ellen W. Ellen on? I didn't check the participant.
I see her, but she's on mute.
Yes. I am here.
And we have an anticipated speaker on the agenda, Heidi Fram. Can you confirm that you're here?
I'm here.
Thank you, Heidi. Good evening. This open meeting of the Newbury Board of Selectmen is being conducted virtually, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, and the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth through the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the Governor order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in public, accessible physical locations. The order, which you can find posted on the town's website, allows public bodies to meet entirely or remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not, however, ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comments and is not a public hearing. For this meeting, the Newbury Board of Selectmen is convening by Zoom meeting link as posted on the agenda on the town's website. All of the materials for this meeting, except any executive session materials, are available on the website, and we recommend the members and the public follow the agenda as posted on the website. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure, accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will go down the line of the board members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, question, or motion. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any reason, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and be sure to state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in dialogue with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. Thank you all for joining us tonight. The first order of business is a vote to accept the Council on Aging donation from Central Congregational Church.
I move to accept.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Michael Doyle,
I accept.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. I would also entertain a motion to send a letter of thanks.
I
Second.
move to send a letter of thank you to the Central Congregational Church.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Michael Doyle,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. The next item on the agenda is a review and approval of new business licenses as follows. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm very sorry. Dirce Machado Moria, Braza Car Auto Sales Inc., 86 Newburyport Turnpike, used car dealer class 2. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the license as written.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Michael Doyle,
No discussion.
Alicia Greco,
Ellen, is everything in order?
It is. That is a license that was issued earlier in the year, and the business was sold already, and this is the new owner.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Jeff Walker.
Yes.
Okay, so now that was for discussion. All those in favor of approving the license? Michael Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. The next item of business, vote to approve and sign the Eastern Essex Department Veteran Service FY21 assessment.
Motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Michael Doyle,
This was really discussed well when Karen was in. She did a real good job of keeping figures down, so I move that we move this forward.
Alicia Greco,
I don't have any discussion.
Jeff Walker.
I'm okay.
I agree with Michael's assessment. I think Karen did a great job at limiting the pain from having one of our members withdraw, and I think we should approve this budget. Moving to a vote, Michael Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. The next item is approval of a 1/12 operating budget. Could I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
And we'll enter into discussion. Michael Doyle,
Is anyone going to talk about this? Either Tracy or? Yeah, okay, okay. So let's-
I have, I can talk to the matter, I guess.
Okay,
please do.
Okay, so the meeting tonight is basically to have the select board vote to approve a plan for a 112 budget as a precautionary measure to ensure the town has an authorized appropriations for FY21 expenditures at 7/1/20 in the event the town meeting schedule for 6/23 needs to either be postponed or in the event the operating budget is not voted timely. The town will need to submit a 112 budget on a month-to-month basis to the DOR for authorization until such time that there is a town meeting vote. If we are able to have the town meeting on 6/23 and we do vote the annual budget, the voted annual operating budget takes effect as of 7/1, and the 1/12 budget plan will be null and void. Currently, the plan as constructed for FY21 July appropriation mirrors all assessments, debt, payroll, and operating expenses based on those due and payable for the same type period in FY20. And this is based on the guidelines that were given to us by the DOR in Bulletin 2020-6 to prepare the document for authorization.
So
Thank you
this
very
is our, oh, sorry, Jamin.
It's all right. Go ahead, Alicia.
So this is pretty much our safety net, right? Should we not have a town meeting?
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you thank you both for putting it together.
And a little deeper is the fact that June is the end of the fiscal year, and we would have to have that meeting at the end of the fiscal year, or we'd have to go to the 112 budget, right?
Correct.
So,
Yes.
makes sense.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank Eileen. She has done an amazing job at taking the financial reins while I've been engaged with all of the pandemic planning for the last couple of months. I'm greatly appreciative, and she's done a tremendous job. So thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tracy.
yes.
My pleasure.
I
Thank you,
hear
Eileen.
that often about a lot of things that come out of that office, doing a great job.
Thanks.
So just as a recap, should we hold town meeting and vote the budget, the 1/12 budget will not be necessary, but we're doing this as a stopgap just in case something comes out, if there's another outbreak or for any other reason we are not able to pass a budget at that meeting.
Correct.
So we will be ready to move forward at that time.
Correct. As soon as you vote, I can give this to the DOR and with the certification from the clerk of the board, and they'll go through and authorize the plan to spend if necessary. Yep.
Fantastic. Mike, did you have any more questions?
No, that's good. Thank you very much. Both did a nice job.
All right. I think we'll move to a roll call vote now. Michael Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. All right, moving right along, we have an item, the Byfield Community Arts Center lease relief. Before beginning discussion, I'd like to ask Heidi Fram to speak to this.
Heidi Fram speaking, and I'm the president of the Byfield Community Arts Center. We have been operating with a lease and payment of $5,000 annually to the town of Newbury. Our last payment was in December. We had, as I'm sure you're all aware, a little glitch with our liquor licensability, and during the months of January and February, we lost significant revenue. We were hoping to have that bylaw changed at the town meeting in April. So in the meantime, we've been closed since March 13th and have lost significant income through this spring. Well, actually, we've lost all of our income through this spring and through the summer. We are hoping to reopen in some limited fashion in September, but as you all know, things are daily subject to change. So we have asked if we could have a 6-month relief on our lease payments and not pay the remainder of our $5,000. At this time, we have paid $2,500 into our annual lease payment, which runs from fiscal year to fiscal year. And we would request that we not have to pay the remaining $2,500.
Thank you very much, Heidi. I'm going to move to the board for discussion at this point. Michael Doyle.
I think the Byfield Arts brings an awful lot to this community, and considering what's happened, I'm in favor of giving the relief.
Alicia Greco.
I have a question. Heidi, did you apply for any money for the PPP loan, or for, I believe it was available for nonprofits?
It was available for nonprofit but we are a completely volunteer-run organization. We have no employees, and our expenses, our utilities, and upkeep and interior maintenance of the building, and fees that we pay for performers to come in. We didn't unfortunately qualify for any of the COVID relief funds. We have been actively pursuing grant monies through these down times, but have not had response as yet.
Okay, so you did try for the PPP and the EIDL loans. That's a shame. Okay.
Jeff Walker.
No discussion.
All right. I think, this is Damon Jesperson, I think it is appropriate to forego the payment at this time and support the Art Center in that fashion in the hope that they're able to reopen in the fall. I'll move to a roll call vote. Mike Doyle.
Yes, I agree with that motion.
Alicia Greco.
Yes.
Jeff Walker.
Yes.
Damon Jesperson. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Heidi. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
The next item on the agenda is the town hall design development. As we're moving through construction on the police station, I wanted to bring this up for discussion at the board level to try and get a sense of where thinking is on the board and what we would like to do for the next step. What I'm proposing is that we ask Jeff Shaw of Context Architects to give us a presentation at the next meeting of the work that has been done on a renovation design up to this point, so that the board can make a decision about how to move forward in the next year with this project. So I'll open that up for discussion. Mike Doyle.
Have we got a committee formed yet? You know, it's like, do we, up in the air and?
What we have right now, I've spoken with some of the members of the current committee, and they are contemplating continuing on to help with the building phase of the next project. We do not have a town hall design committee at this time.
I think that would be the next step we should do.
Okay,
Can I speak?
Alicia Greco.
We did put out a request for a town hall committee over several months, and we only had one person that wanted to sit on it. So I don't know if actually, I think to try to get a committee formed, I think it's going to be fruitless, and it's going to be moot.
We can try.
Well, we already tried.
Things have
I don't
changed.
know. I don't know. I would have to. I think the motion, the way it's read and the way it was written, is just to have them present to us where we are at this point. I don't think a committee is needed for that. This is for us at the Board of Selectmen level, and then we can decide if we do want to try and cast our fishing rod out one more time to see if we can get a committee up. That'd be great, but I don't, right now, I think we've tried, and I think it's not gonna, we haven't been successful yet.
Thank you, Alicia. Jeff Walker.
Damon, I think the idea of maybe getting town hall design development documents into one spot first, even before we have a presentation from Jeff Shaw, if we could have something come out to us, it would be nice to look at them. It's just like I wouldn't want anyone doing a heart transplant, you know, and having a consult via Zoom. It would be kind of nice for the selectmen to be able to look at these documents. I think as we head into town hall design fundamentals, I would really like to be out of this covert thing, have the police station more, you know, in completion, and have the ability for people to participate at a higher level. But I think certainly seeing where we are now makes sense.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, what I didn't want to have happen is have this fall by the wayside. I think we can easily get all the documentation that has been done up to this point out to the selectmen before our next meeting, with lots of time to review and send questions to the architect. Whether or not, you know, where we'll be at the end of July, which is the next scheduled meeting, is a very significant question at this point. You know, it's really an unknown. So we can always table things if we're not comfortable discussing it via a Zoom meeting. But I would, at this point, like to continue moving the discussion forward rather than just putting a blanket hold on it for the time being.
Chairman, I agree with you. I would like to see it move forward somewhat tonight. You know, go to the next step, get the people together, just give a presentation. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, I'm not, I don't want to be held hostage to COVID. So the Commonwealth and the governor has put these Zoom meetings into place so that we can move town government forward. I don't want to stop everything, and I don't think it's healthy. So I think if we could continue with these meetings and continue to have an agenda that does bring the town forward would be helpful.
All right. Jeff, do you have anything else you'd like to contribute at this time, or should we move
Well,
on to a motion?
move it to a vote.
All right, I'm going to restate the motion, which is to ask Jeff Shaw to attend the July meeting and give a presentation on where the town hall design development is currently. If I could get a second.
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor? Oh, sorry. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes, if we can get some stuff sent to us first so we know what we're talking about when he comes.
Make sure
sends
that
out me. Because he's
Good
not going
point.
to do it for nothing. So,
I'm sure that'll be reflected in the minutes.
all right.
We'll get it done. And Damon Jesperson, yes. The next thing I'd like to bring up on the agenda before the appointment is the outdoor seating. Alicia, do you have the motion for that?
I do.
Would you read that, please?
I move that pursuant to Executive Order COVID-19 number 35, issued by Governor Baker on June 1, 2020, and notwithstanding the provisions of Chapter 40A zoning, Chapter 138 alcohol license, or Chapter 140 common victular of the general laws, or any special law to the contrary, the Board of Selectmen for the town of Newbury voted to permit applications for outdoor seating and to delegate approval of said applications to the Newbury Town Administrator, which approvals are subject to substantial compliance with the documents, plans, and statements contained within said application and submitted herewith, with which documents are incorporated into said approval by reference. The approvals issued pursuant to this vote shall be freely revocable upon the determination of the Health Department, Chief of Police, Board of Health, or their designees that the operation of the outdoor dining area is negatively impacting public health and safety. Further, the approvals issued pursuant to this vote shall automatically be rescinded on November 1, 2020, or upon the rescission of Executive Order COVID-19 number 35, whichever shall come first.
Could I get a second?
Second it.
Tracy, could you explain
Yes.
what permitting process and what steps any of our qualifying businesses would have to do under this in order to receive this permission?
Yeah, the reason it was set forth, the motion appears the way you've received it, is in an effort to expedite the permitting process, so that people can, the 6 businesses that would likely qualify, if they're interested in doing it, can get up and running as quickly as possible. In your packets, there is an application. That application needs to be completed by the business owner, submitted back into me at the office, and I will do the running. I will meet with the police chief, the fire chief, the planning director, the building commissioner, and the conservation agent to get their recommendations and turn the application back around, approved to the restaurant owner. That's the goal. It's very similar to the process we would use for other permitting, except the applicant is usually charged with going around and getting the approvals. This way, we thought it would move it a little quicker.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Sure, no problem.
Any discussion? Michael Doyle?
What's the status of the alcohol with these? Can they serve? Can they not serve? They can.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
We have to, we also have to amend, the Board of Selectmen will have to amend their licenses.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine. Okay, very good.
Yep.
Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Alicia Greco?
No, I think anything we can do to help people get up and running is wonderful. So I appreciate you, Tracy. I know, and Ellen, I'm going to thank you. I mean, Eileen, I'm going to thank you again, and actually Ellen too for being the back. I know it's not just you; it's the mountain behind you, the army behind you, but it's a small army, and you guys are doing yeoman's work, and I appreciate it. Thank you, and I know the businesses do too.
Jeff Walker?
Oh, absolute agreement. Anything we can do and the quicker we can do it, the better.
All right, I concur with what the sentiments of the rest of the board, so we'll move to a roll call vote. Michael Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. All right. Moving on to appointments. Give me just a moment. Didn't have time to put all the fancy tabs in to make this go quickly.
See, I can't reach out and give you some of mine.
So I think our first appointments are Tracy Blaze, Town Administrator, 7/1/2020 through 6/30/2025.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Michael Doyle,
No.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker.
Not at this time. Nope.
All right, moving for a roll call vote. Michael Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. I'm going to do, well, we'll do them one at a time. The next appointment is Doug Janvrin Jr., Fire Chief, 7/1/2020 through 6/30/2025. Any discussion? Michael Doyle,
Nope. Good choice. We've discussed it. Yeah.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker,
Nope.
Damon Jesperson. Again, I think the chief has done a fantastic job, and I'm very glad that he has opted to stay with us. Moving to a roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Julie O'Brien, Executive Administrator, 7/1/2020 through 6/30/2021.
Excuse me, Damon.
Yep.
That should be June 8th yesterday and not 7/1.
Oh, June 8th, 2021?
Yes. No, June 8th, 2020 through 6/30/2021.
June
8th.
Yeah. You said June 8th?
June.
6/8.
Julie O'Brien, Executive Administrator, June 8th, 2020 through 6/30/2021. Any discussion? Michael Doyle?
I guess it's a surprise today. Ellen, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And Julie, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Alicia?
This is a surprise to me. Ellen, when is your last, when are you finishing your service with us?
July 31st. I'm going to help Julie transition.
Okay. Well, we're gonna miss you. Thank you so much for all of your help.
You're
And
welcome.
welcome, Julie.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jeff?
I will truly miss Ellen. I can remember the first day in the old town hall. When Ellen first came. So Julie, congratulations and look
Thank
forward
you.
to working with you, but I'm going to really miss Ellen.
Thanks, Jeff.
Times change.
You too.
Yes. To further on what everyone else has said, I can't thank Ellen enough for all the time and effort she's put in and all the help she's given us. and I look forward to working with Julie in the future.
Thank
So
you.
Thank
we'll
you.
move to a roll call vote at this time. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. The next order of business is Borders to Boston Trail Committee. We have 3 appointments on this. Martha Taylor, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Steve Kim, 5/27/20 through 7/1. No, sorry. That was a reappointment thing. Read the wrong section. 7/1/20 through 6/20/21. And Ted Russell, 7/1/20 through 6/30/2021.
And Damon, there is one more that was added today, a
Oh.
late entry, and that is Brian Baldwin, 7/1/20 through 6/30/2021.
All right.
The updated sheet for your packet.
Sorry, I was going from the written one. So Brian Baldwin, 7/1/20 through 6/30/2021.
Correct.
Mike Doyle, any discussion?
No, we're good.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker.
Good.
I just want to say that I look forward to these trails getting all connected. I've used some of the ones in other communities, and I look forward to really having an extensive trail network that people can use in and around. You know, getting outside is more important than ever right now. And so I appreciate the work everyone's doing. And now we'll move to a roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Next, we have our building project construction committee. We have Bob Connors, 7/1/20 through 6/30/2021. John Keller, 7/1/20 through 6/30/2021. And Eric Swan, 7/1/20 through 6/30/2021.
And Damon, you didn't get the updated sheet for your packet, which was email.
Want
We
me
also-
to- want me to
I'm going
read
to shift to my email then, I guess.
Okay.
either that or I can read it for you, Damon?
If you'd want to, if you have it right in front of you, Jeff, that would be great.
Deputy Chief John Lucy from 7/01/20 to 6/30/2021. Chief Michael Riley from 7/01/20 to 6/30/2021. Martha Taylor from 7/01/20 to 6/30/2021.
All right. Moving to discussion. Mike Doyle,
All set.
Alicia Greco,
I'm noticing the name of this committee. It's called the Building Project Construction Committee. So I think we should be all set with the town hall, whether it's a building project would be police or town hall. Maybe Tracy can speak to that.
I think you'd have to get them to sign on.
Yeah, what's your point?
Well, I don't know. My point is kind of like, I don't know why, if we can't get some, a town hall, or if we're having difficulty finding residents to sit on it, if they would agree, if this group would agree to, segue into the next project, I don't know. I don't see the necessity in forming another committee, I guess is my point. But we'd have to get them to agree, because just because we appoint doesn't mean they're going to
Well,
show up.
But also, I'd like to see other people offer the possibility.
I think I'd speak to that too, in the respect that the people that are on this committee are certainly finding out the amount of responsibility and the amount of time. I mean, Bob, I know as chair, I mean, he's doing $100,000 worth of work a year. I mean, it's a big job, a lot of time, a lot of expertise. So we would want to ask them at the end of this if they really have the urge to have another go.
I understand.
Yes. I have, you're finished, Jeff, I've spoken with some of the members, well, all of the members actually, and they have vacillated on whether or not they would like to continue to serve. So we may have to do something very special when we open the police station to convince them that they should continue on.
Pay 'em.
If money were no option,
Yeah.
it would. Not hearing any need for further discussion, we'll move to a roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
and Damon Gustafson, yes. If you could, I'm still pulling up the agenda on my meeting, so if you could read the next appointment, Jeff, that would be great if you have it right in front of you.
All right. I gotta turn my page too. Hold on. Is it right? Capital planning? Is everyone following me?
Yep.
And it's Nicholas Oram, and it's 6/120 to 7/120, 6/30/22.
Looks
Yep.
good to me.
Yep.
So I'll second that since I didn't read it. And Mike Doyle, any questions or comments?
No.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker,
No.
Damon Jesperson, no. And so let's move to a roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. The next one we have is capital planning. I just have Pete Pecos. Is that all we have, or is that changed?
Conservation Commission. Is that capital planning? Yep.
And that will be 7/120 through 6/30/23. Any discussion? Mike Doyle,
No.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker.
No.
All right, moving to vote. Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Council on Aging is what I have next. We have members Jerry Dorr, 7/120 through 6/30/21. Joyce Materos, 7/120 through 6/30/21. Evelyn Lloyd, 7/120 through 6/30/21. Charles Rudick, 7/120 through 6/30/21. And Sandy Small, 7/120 through 6/30/21. Any discussion? Mike Doyle,
No.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker.
No.
All right, moving to a roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Give me a moment. Cultural Council. We have Amy Thurlow, 7/120 through 6/30/23. Michelle Ouellette, 7/120 through 6/30/23. Any discussion? Mike
No.
Doyle,
No.
Alicia Greco,
Yes. No, I don't have any discussion. Sorry. I'm voting.
Jeff Walker,
No.
all those in roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes.
That was good.
We have a finance committee. But before we get into the appointment for that, we received a letter from Paul Myatt, who is not seeking reappointment and hopes to serve on the school committee he's trying for a write-in since we did not have anyone run for that. I would entertain a motion to send a letter of thanks to Paul for his service on FinCom.
I will
Second.
move that, move that motion, second it.
All right. I'll just move right to a vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes,
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes.
I do just want to say, Chairman, that Paul has been a wonderful, knowledgeable addition to the Finance Committee and his role on the DCC with the school. So should he be successful in his bid for a school committee, I think Newbury will be well served by having him represent us. I think he may be missed, or he will be missed on the Finance Committee as well.
I agree entirely. Sorry, I should have had discussion.
That's okay.
Moving along. So now for appointments to FinCom, we have Linda Allen from 7/1/2020 to 6/30/2023. Any discussion? Mike Doyle,
no discussion.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker.
No.
All right, moving to a vote.
Chairman,
Oh, go ahead.
Erica has also sent, Erica Jacobson has also sent in an email. She was made aware that Paul was not going to seek reappointment, and she has volunteered to serve on the committee.
All right. So it would be the same term, 3 years.
Yes.
So, well, let's finish the vote on Linda and then we'll come back and do Erica. Didn't realize she'd get that in so quickly. So voting on Linda Allen's appointment, Mike Doyle,
Yes,
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Now Erica Jacobson has submitted a letter. She would serve from 7/1/2020 to 6/30/2023. Any discussion? Mike Doyle?
no. She served in the past, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Alicia Greco?
I think it's wonderful of her to volunteer her time again on the Finance Committee. She was, Finance Committee was very well served by her as the town of Newbury. So she's very knowledgeable. Looking forward to having her back.
Jeff Walker?
I concur with what was just said, and she makes things clear at town meetings and is easy to work with, and would be a great addition.
I also support her return. I think she did speak extremely well at town meetings and was able to boil things down in a way that made it very understandable what was going on with the town finances. So I look forward to having her serving the town again. So with that, we'll move to a vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes,
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Now moving on to the Historic Commission, we have Channing Howard from 7/1/20 to 6/30/23. Discussion, Mike Doyle,
no,
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker,
Yes, in the respect that those that know Channing, if there is anyone that knows anything about history and not only of the town, but the surrounding area, and he probably has one of the largest, whenever movies used to come to this area, they would always go to Channing's warehouse for all the props, if it was an older movie. So very well versed in these times, modern times and old times. So Channing is good. He's been on the board a long time. I concur. It's good.
yes. I want to speak to his affability and his joy in working with people. I think he really loves this community and it's a wonderful fit for him. So I really appreciate that he takes it on. Moving to a vote, Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Next, we have the Human Resource Board. I have Mark Gleckman serving a 3-year term from 7/1/20 to 6/30/23, and John Lucy serving 3-year term as the employee representative 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Any discussion? Mike Doyle,
All set.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker.
No.
All right, moving to a vote, Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. We have next the Merrimack Valley Planning. We have Martha Taylor serving from 7/1/20 to 6/30/21, and Lawrence Murphy as the alternate commissioner serving from 7/1/20 to 6/30/21. Discussion, Mike Doyle,
All set.
Alicia Greco,
No.
Jeff Walker,
No, I'm good, definitely with the appointments, but I would like to speak to, not only am I involved with Merrimack Valley Planning in the fact that they are the ones that sponsor all the work we do on the marsh and the ability for invasives control and everything, but they've become very relevant and they have a new director, and they've done a lot of good things recently with the MVV programs and everything else. So they're, pretty relevant program. So yes, I think they're good. And it's important to have representation to them.
pardon me for a second while my dog barks. No.
Yes, Damon. Yes, Damon.
So, sorry for the interruption, everyone. I would like to follow on what Jeff has said. I've spent a lot of time working with the Merrimack Valley Planning to try and develop a affordable housing plan for Newbury, and they're a great resource for us. And so having these people working with them does untold good for the town of Newbury. So, moving to a vote, Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
and Damon Jesperson, yes. The next element we have is the Municipal Vulnerability Task Force. We have Tracy Blaze, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Doug Janvrin Jr., 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Peter Bennett, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Bill Holt, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. John O'Connor, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Michael Riley, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Deb Rogers, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. James Surratt, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Martha Taylor, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. And Jeff Walker, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. And I have Kristen Grubbs at the bottom. She did not request reappointment.
She
She did.
has.
She did.
She has? Okay.
She has.
Good. Because I was just going to say that would be a loss. Good.
7/1. So Kristen Grubbs, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Discussion, Mike Doyle,
All set.
Alicia Greco.
Nope.
Jeff, you want to talk about yourself?
I'm good.
I just would like to say that this is an important group, and I really appreciate the work that they do. And with that, we can move to a vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff, you're going to abstain from yourself and vote on everyone else?
I am. Done.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Moving on to the Open Space Committee. Martha Taylor, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Dan Streeter, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. McDonough Scanlon, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Kaylee Burke, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Any discussion? Mike Doyle,
All set?
Alicia Greco,
I'm good.
Jeff Walker.
Just a question for Martha. When did we do the open space plan last time?
Our current open space plan was done in 2009. It has expired.
Yeah,
And so it was good for 5 years. And so we are.
5 years, which is, it's a hot, it's a big job in every 5 years, but it's good to keep it on the radar as 5 years anyway, so.
Yeah, especially now, a lot of things have changed. When we did it before climate change and sea level rise, none of that was even a twinkle in our eye. So that really, I think, calls for looking at open space differently than we did before.
If you ever have like the ability for associates or, like, I'd like to be on that, but I don't know if I can make every meeting, so. I
So
don't
that would be great. We're looking for more people to join. I know Mac has been actively trying to recruit some members and get some energy into it to move forward with the update, as
Yeah.
well as other things that we could be doing. That would really open us up for some grant applications.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, so anyway, I definitely don't mind helping. It can be, when you start into the revamping the plan, it can be a process that takes a tremendous amount of work, and my hat's always been off to you guys. I was on that committee once, wasn't I, Martha?
Yes,
Yeah.
you and I served on it.
The way you guys worked hard for me.
You and I were both on it in
That's right.
1999, 2000.
Wow, that's dated. All right,
In a
thank
little
you.
while.
So nothing further. Important committee.
Yes. All right, moving to a vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. I believe the next thing we have is Planning Board Associate Member, Mary Stone, I think is how you pronounce the last name,
Yes.
6/17/20 through 6/30/21. Discussion, Mike Doyle,
All set?
Alicia Greco,
Good.
Jeff Walker.
I'm good.
Just want to thank the people who step up to that committee. It's a lot of work learning all the bylaws, and I really appreciate the time and energy that goes into that service. So moving to a vote, Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
and yes. So I believe the next thing is our police appointments. We have 1-year appointments. Baker John, Reserve Patrolman, Emergency Management Responder. Colby Jr. Charles, Reserve Police Patrolman. I don't know how to say your last name.
DeCenzo.
So, Brad, Reserve Patrolman, Emergency Communications Officer. Lane Jason, Emergency Communication Officer. Lane Ross, Emergency Communication Officer. Gamashe Joseph, Reserve Police Patrolman. Should have gone over these names. Igo Pian, Reverend Robert, Police Department Chaplain. Hunt Christina, Emergency Communications Officer. Hunt Nathan, Reserve Police Patrolman. LaCroix Carroll, Animal Control Officer and Animal Inspector. Mailhot Michael, Police Reserve Patrolman. Manjin Stephen, Code Enforcement Officer. Mary Roger, Special Police Officer. Neri Michaels, Special Police Officer. Elenosi James, Reserve Police Patrolman, Emergency Management Responder. Walsh Christopher, Special Police, Triton. Wilson Reed, Assistant Animal Control Officer. DeHeller Wallace, Deputy Emergency Management Director. And Leigh Martha, Administrative Assistant. She's 2/24/20 through 6/30/21. Any discussion?
I would just like to thank all our guys in light of what is going on in the nation. I would like to absolutely thank our force for their intellect, their wisdom, and they're always being, kind and do what the situation demands. So I want to thank all our boys.
Yeah, I want to second that. They show up and they go in and they don't know what they're going to walk into. So it's a job that I would not like to do. So I'm so appreciative that these folks want to step up and actually do it.
Mike Doyle?
I agree with the sentiments of the two board members.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Before you
Yes, go ahead, Chief.
Before you take a vote, one of the one-year appointments, Joseph Gamache, he will not be appointed. He took a full-time position at Salisbury PD. So he resigned his reserve patrolman position here. So he will not be on the appointment list.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll take a vote on the amended list, removing Joseph Gamache. And I also would like to second the support offered by the board for our patrolmen. I think they have done an excellent job serving our community. And so our thanks goes out to all of them. So now for the motion to appoint Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. The next is Recreation Committee. With Dave Cole, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. David Dempsey, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Celine Lobini, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Mark Zant, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Michael Volpone, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. And Alicia Greco is the BOS rep, 7/1/20 through 6/30/21. Discussion? Mike Doyle?
Also,
Alicia Greco?
No.
Jeff Walker?
Oh,
All right, moving to a vote. Mike Doyle?
yes.
Alicia Greco?
I'll vote on the committee and abstain from my representation.
Jeff Walker?
yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Next is Stormwater Management. We have Tracy Blaze, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Don O'Connell, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Bill Holt, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Deb Rogers, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. James Surratt, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Martha Taylor, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Julie O'Brien, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Discussion. Mike Doyle,
All set.
Alicia Greco,
I have no discussion.
Jeff Walker.
No.
I just want to say again, this is one of those committees that is very technical, and the town has saved a lot by the work that these guys have done in advance of some of the requirements that have come through the state. So they deserve our thanks. Moving to a vote.
Damon, I'd like to just mirror that. And also, I think I was asleep on the job that the rec committee has done too. So that's kind of ad hoc. So.
Suppose it's all right. We can do a little ad hoc now and again. Moving to a vote to appoint Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Zoning Board of Appeals. We have Elaine Baker, 7/1/20 through 6/30/23. Discussion. Mike,
All set.
Alicia,
Is she a reappointment or has she been on the board?
she is a reappointment.
Thank you.
Jeff,
No.
all right. Moving to a vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. We're getting there, folks. In fact, we might be there.
Be there.
I think we are. All right. So the next order of business is an update from Chief Riley.
All right. I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, COVID-19 update. It's been a busy 2 weeks, but I'm happy to say that our COVID cases have not increased. Overall in town, we have 11 cases reported. The last case being reported was May 14th. So it's been well over 2 weeks since we've had a new case reported. I'm very happy to say that the opening of the private parking lots and the beach restrictions being eased hasn't resulted in a spike in cases in Newbury. So I'm happy about that. We did, with the phase 2 reopening, we did bring back the porta potties and trash barrels to Plum Island Center. We found a company that could disinfect according to the governor's protocol, the porta potties daily and empty the trash daily. So we brought those back. The beach has been very busy, but it's been manageable. And the refuge is opening up their gates if they haven't done so already. So that should ease some of the beach crowd as well. As far as phase 2 of the reopening, we've been working very diligently. Deb Rogers, Tracy, myself, and the rest of the town employees, we've been working very diligently to figure out when exactly is the ideal time to open town offices for the public, limited access. And, you know, that could come towards the end of phase 2. It might come in phase 3. Those are discussions that we're still having, but we are working towards renewing public access into the building, so long as we don't have a major spike in cases. Everything else on the COVID front, we are good with PPE. We're good with materials needed for a town election and for town meeting. We've scoped out with Triton the logistics for town meeting, and we think we have a very solid plan in place. As a matter of fact, the town of Rowley is using the same facility for their town meeting, I believe, the night before. So it's a good plan, and we've worked very hard, and I want to thank the Triton Regional School District for allowing that. The facility at the Triton Regional High School is much bigger and allows for proper social distancing for town meeting. And Tracy, am I missing anything? That, you know, we continue to have our daily public safety meetings and conversations about things that may pop up along the way, and there's always something that pops up. But I have had discussions with business owners on this phase 2 reopening, restaurant owners, for allowing the outdoor service, and between Deb Rogers, Tracy, myself, we are going to work extremely hard to get the businesses that want to open up for the outdoor service up and running as quickly as we can. The licensing and the permitting process, with your vote tonight, will greatly expedite that, so we appreciate that. And really, that's it, unless you have any questions.
I'm going to go through and just see if people have questions. Mike Doyle,
Chief, if a business does fill out all the paperwork, how fast do you think they could open?
As soon as all the paperwork and everything signed off on, Tracy could probably answer that better than I could, but I think it's pretty much immediately. But I could be mistaken with that, Tracy. You've had the conversations with Lisa.
Tracy?
A couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the goal anyway, is to get it done as quickly as possible.
It's an easy permitting process, and with the outdoor service of alcohol, the ABCC doesn't require anything except for the town, the local licensing authority, which is the Board of Selectmen, sending the ABCC notification that you have allowed that. And obviously, when the outdoor seating is rescinded, November 1st at the latest, but if the governor's guidelines allow restaurants to open as normal before that, then that additional permitting for the outdoor liquor service will be rescinded as well, and the license will revert back to its original license. So ABCC's been very good about relaxing their requirements and allowing the towns to handle it on a case-by-case basis.
And at that point, the outdoor seating is no longer allowed either.
Yes, yes.
Alicia Greco?
So does that mean, because does the board have to amend these liquor licenses, or is it going to?
If you want to allow the chairman or the vice chairman or someone to execute on behalf of the board.
Yeah, that's, I think, would be, I don't want to hold anybody up
I
by
agree.
us not meeting.
That's a vote you guys can take.
All right. What I would like to do is finish with questions for Chief Riley, and then we can have a motion to allow I would say the chairman to sign documents on our behalf, or you guys can make a motion however you'd like. But I'd like to let Chief Riley finish off, and then we'll go make a motion, if that's all right with everyone.
Yeah.
So I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Chief, are we still planning on having a conversation with a couple of members of the rec committee to determine how the rec fields can be used moving forward tomorrow? Tracy, you're going to be there, right? Okay, good.
2 o'clock. Yeah.
All right, because they need some guidance. That'd
Absolutely. And under the governor's under phase 2, I know that sports teams, school sports teams can start practicing as long as they're exercising, social distancing, and there are some guidelines to follow, and we will make sure that everybody is familiar with those guidelines.
Okay.
I just don't think there can be contact sports at this point and no tournaments or games yet, but hopefully later on in phase 2 they'll allow for that. But we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff Walker, do you have any questions at this point or comments?
He's muted. He's
Okay.
muted.
There, am I back?
Too bad.
Yeah.
That was funny. I had a notice that the host has muted me, so I figured I was in trouble. No, absolutely good. No questions.
All right. Well, then thank you very much, Chief, for all the hard work. And Deb and Tracy, I know this has made your normal jobs much more challenging, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. At this point, I'd like to open up for a motion to have either the chairman or myself sign documents for the liquor licenses on the board's behalf.
I would make a motion.
All right.
Just like to what? Motion made.
Is there a second?
Second. Jeff seconded me, I guess.
Okay.
Who's on first?
Discussion, Mike?
Anything we can do to get these businesses back up and running, it's like, I want to see it happen.
Alicia?
Nope, as long as we put everything in line so that we don't have, they're not waiting on us for anything. That's all I'm concerned about.
Jeff?
Good job, everyone. It's moving forward. Great.
All right. The only question I have is, Ellen, is it clear what you need for the minutes for that?
I have the chair or the vice chair, which is it, sign the amended liquor licenses on behalf of the board.
Yes.
the chair or the vice chair?
I think
Or
it's
Yeah,
Either.
either or.
sure.
Can
Okay.
it be either or do we need to have the chair?
Can do either.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do either or. Whoever,
Either-
he who gets there first wins.
Got it.
Well, that should help us move things along. All right. Let's move to a vote then, if there's no further discussion. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes,
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Now, town administrators report.
Okay, well, as the chief has said, with the governor's lifting of most of the restrictions, the town offices, library, council on aging, we've all chosen the phased approach for our reopening as well. We started by bringing everybody back on the 18th of May. At this time, we're remaining cautious, again, based on the advice of the chief and the health agent, and remain closed. Residents are still conducting their business, and we continue to urge them to go to the town's website. They can reach us electronically via email or through the telephones. So I haven't received to date, I haven't received any complaints about, work not getting accomplished, people being unresponsive. As far as I'm aware, and in meetings with the department and department managers, everything is up to date and current. The boards and committees are participating in Zoom training sessions currently, and all the meetings have resumed. Susan Noyce has taken the lead on that, and she's done an amazing job getting everyone back up and running. The library is providing curbside pickup, which began on June 2nd. Anyone is welcome to go to the website for more information, detailed information on that. Much like the governor's plan, we're going to continue to be vigilant. When we recognize that the time is right, driven by the data, we'll expect to open to the public at first by appointment only, and then subsequently at a later date for business as usual, basically. I've also, the appointments kind of got the jump on me. The retirements that I wanted to announce were Doug Packer, our conservation agent, who is leaving at the end of the month, and Ellen Jameson, who I've worked with for many, many years. And Ellen, thank you for always making me look good. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Tracy.
Heartbroken that she's leaving, but I'm really excited to be working with Julie too. We have been very fortunate in Newbury to have really, really tremendous department managers who are very committed to public service. And I know I appreciate it. I'm grateful for their help. Wish them both many years of happy, healthy retirement. And just ask you all to join me in welcoming Julie to her new role as the executive administrator. We've had Gretchen Gerard join us as the administrator for the planning and inspectional services departments. And we've also had Bill Holt, who has just come on board as our new conservation agent, and we'll spend the rest of this month working with Doug to transition into the position. They all come to us with excellent experience, and I'm really, really pleased to have them join our teams. So a lot of changes around here, a lot of new faces, and despite COVID, please reach out to them and introduce yourselves so everybody can get familiar with one another. The town meeting, as everybody knows, has been rescheduled. Hopefully everybody knows, to June 23rd, and will be held at the Triton Regional High School Auditorium at 7 p.m. Although we're attempting to make it feel as much like a normal town meeting as possible, there will of course be some significant changes. We acknowledge that really each citizen is going to have to make the personal decision about whether or not they want to, can, or should attend the meeting. And we recognize that it's our obligation to provide the safest environment possible for everybody who does choose to attend. And as the chief mentioned, we've undertaken a number of safety precautions. We've had an opportunity to view the site. We're working very closely with Chris Walsh, who is the facilities director at Triton, on all of the logistics and understanding that there will be a complete disinfecting done on the morning of our town meeting. We're not going to allow any kinds of solicitations at this meeting, no food pantries, no, we're going to try and get as few people involved in the entryways as possible. All participants are going to enter through a single doorway, doorway number 4. They'll all be required to conduct the self-evaluation of their own individual health before entering their health status. They'll be required to wear masks. If there is someone that has a medical condition that prevents them from wearing a mask, they will be seated in a separate area from the other participants. The town clerk's going to adjust the check-in process to allow for social distancing, and we will be providing disposable writing implements for people. We're going to ask everyone to download the appropriations booklet at home so we can limit the amount of, limit the distribution of materials at the meeting. They will be available online, hopefully the week prior to the town meeting. Ushers will be directing participants on where to go in order to avoid bottlenecks at the point of ingress and egress. The hand sanitizing stations will be set up. Voters are going to be provided with a sanitized response clicker that you become accustomed to using. We had some interns today stuffing the response clickers into Ziploc baggies along with alcohol wipes. So those will be distributed. The seating arrangement will be marked off to allow for social distancing, although members of the immediate families are going to be allowed to sit together. And the idea is that once you're in your seat, you would remain in your seat throughout the duration of the entire meeting. Microphones will be brought to individuals who wish to speak and will be sanitized after each use. A number of the special articles that were initially proposed for the town meeting as well have been removed. And we're going to ask the moderator to waive the reading of the articles in order that we're able to lessen the amount of time, physical time, that we have to spend in the building. Also, we're going to consider, and we haven't made a determination yet, about limiting non-voter visitors to press only. We normally have a number of people that will come that are non-residents and that may wish to participate, but we're going to get some more information and consult with the chief and Deb to understand what the best approach to that is. And then when we get to the end, dismissal will occur, row by row as directed by the ushers. So I'm sure there are things we haven't thought of, that we haven't considered, but the good news is Rowley is going first. So I will be speaking with their town administrator first thing Tuesday morning to understand what was successful and what wasn't, to make sure that we can make any necessary adjustments before the meeting. The election is scheduled for the 16th. And again, the town clerk wanted me to mention that their residents are encouraged to vote, requesting a ballot through the office of the town clerk, through the mail. We've received over 1,500 requests and I understand there are over 900 that have already been returned. And finally, I just wanted to extend congratulations to both Julie O'Brien and Lillian Reinholds, our assistant town accountant, on the completion of the public contracting overview coursework. They both passed their examinations and are on their way to becoming Massachusetts certified public purchasing officials. That's it for tonight.
Very good. All righty. Thank you, Tracy. Are there any questions from the board for Tracy at this time? Mike Doyle,
Also,
Alicia Greco,
I had one, but I forgot.
Jeff
If I
Walker,
remember.
they muted again? I'm assuming just spacing out down there. All
I
right,
have, actually, Damon, excuse me, I have a question. So for town meeting, it's scheduled for 7 PM. What time would you like us to arrive? Earlier than that, or I mean, no, earlier than that, but
The board and the finance committee usually arrive at 6:30, and we post it as a regular meeting in the event that there's anything last minute that needs to be discussed.
okay, so that's gonna happen. You're gonna post that. Okay. So we'll get there for 6:30. Okay. Thank you.
Jeff, I saw you back there. Do you have any questions at this time?
Is there anything else that I might have not heard or missed? I mean, are we wearing masks or
Yes,
Yeah.
wearing masks.
what else does everyone have to know? Anything else?
There's a lot. I don't want to make Tracy repeat it all.
No, I heard all that. I didn't hear mask. That's why I asked.
Yeah, everyone will have to wear a mask. And everyone will be required to essentially state that they believe themselves to be healthy when they attend the meeting.
Yeah.
We're not going to be taking everyone's temperature as I understand it, but that could also change. It's still kind of fluid, so we'll keep people up to date as the emergency management crew makes determinations. So if there's no other questions for Tracy at this time, I'd move on to old business, which is the setting of meeting dates for July, August, and September as we move into our summer hours. We've, in the past, done the last Tuesday of the month. I don't know if that's how we want to proceed. So I'll just open up for discussion. Mike Doyle?
it's in theory, it's a great idea, but with all that's going on in the town, I think we'll be having 2 meetings a month. It's like, I think last, when I first got on the board last year, we had like 4 meetings in a month. We're only supposed to have 1. So as long as we're fluid, I have no problem with the schedule.
Alicia?
Yeah, I'm good for having just 1 meeting a month, and then we can always post and call another one if needed, like we did last year.
Jeff?
I think what the other two said is great.
Yeah, I agree. I remember my first term, we had meetings every week all through the summer, and that was our summer schedule. So if we can meet less, I think it's nice, and if not, we'll make it happen. So I guess I don't know if we need to take a vote. I can't remember, but I'm gonna move that we schedule meetings for the last Tuesday of July, August, and September.
I'll second that.
And now that we've discussed it, I'll have a roll call vote. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes.
Actually, excuse me, Chairman, I remembered what I was going to ask the town administrator. And actually, it would be Chief Riley as well that might want to chime in on this. Is there any guidance coming from the Commonwealth about when we can resume regular meetings and not Zoom meetings? Is that phase 2, phase 3? Do we know that?
I haven't heard anything yet. I will discuss that with Deb Rogers to see if she's on the Department of Public Health conference calls every day. So I'll see if she's heard anything about that. I would assume it would either be at the end of phase 2 or phase 3. But
Okay.
I think from what I've read, it is in phase 3, but I couldn't be 100% positive. So I'll
Okay.
discuss.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Mr. Chairman, can
Yeah.
I confirm, are you doing it normally you meet on the 2nd and the 4th Tuesdays? So are you the fourth Tuesday of each month or the last Tuesday of each month? I wasn't clear on
I do the
I-
4th.
The full,
Yeah, the
I,
4th is
Yeah.
the regular one.
the reg-
Yeah, don't mess it up any more than we,
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
As stated, we may have extra ones, but the chair can call those at any time.
Sure.
So having taken care of that, we had correspondence from Steve Mangan. He's talked extensively about his objections to the building out of the Plum Island bathrooms. Anyone who is interested in reading Steve's full letter, it's included in the packet for today. So I'd encourage you to do that. He's very thoughtful. I don't happen to agree with him, but he's well-spoken and presents his ideas very well.
and actually, Chairman, I reached out to Steve because I wanted to see if I could understand where his thoughts are from that, but we haven't connected yet, but I have reached out.
he had surgery today, so that's why he's probably not on the phone right now.
So I hope to talk to him at some point, probably by Friday.
Well, I hope he recovers well. Wish him all the best. Anyone else want to say anything about correspondence?
It says what it says.
Okay. So meeting updates. Do you have anything, Mike?
Right off, not offhand right now. I think, I've gone to meetings, but nothing new is added to the agenda.
Alicia Greco?
No, the only thing that I wanted to bring up was the Triton graduation. That's going to be Saturday. It's going to be the parade. I was torn on this. I would love to attend it under normal circumstances, but it's going to be tight as it is. And I think having 2 kids graduate from school already and having a daughter that missed a college graduation this year, I'm really cognizant of how the parents and how this is a family event, how important it is as a family. And I don't think I'm going to attend because I'm going to step back and I'm going to allow the Triton families to take this moment for their kids. I'm going to allow them some space. I'm not sure everybody feels that way, but just want to get it on the record that I'm heartbroken that I can't be on the field watching them commence. But by the same token, I wish them all the best. It's a tough year to graduate, and I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna pass this one.
I am gonna go because of a handful of those kids I worked a lot with over the last 4 years, so I am gonna go to that.
All right. Jeff Walker, do you have anything to update us on?
I'll just speak to the, I'm not going to attend either, and it will be probably the first time in all the years that I've been selectman, so it is a different year. Also, very quickly, there was a Zoom call with the Corps of Engineers, and it was between towns, between the city and the town. It's one of the things I work on in the MRBA, and it was discussion if we ever can get the appropriate funding to dredge our river of where the spoils will go. And it's still in discussion. We have approved sites up and down. It'll probably end up at Reservation Terrace, but everything is still moving in the right direction. And I want everyone to realize that that's still in process, because certainly if Reservation Terrace had to undergo a really tough winter next year with a few hurricanes, it would be, with water and sewer on Plum Island and infrastructure at risk, it would be a different island.
Actually, Jeff, can I ask you a question on this? Because I haven't been on the down the island this winter, and I just went the other night with my husband, and we walked from Center Island north, and it was a lot of erosion there that I haven't seen it eroded that much. Did anybody else see that? Have they done any discussion? I mean, I didn't go as far as Reservation Terrace. I mean, can see all the sand out on out in the ocean, but it's not
Where
on the
did you
beach.
walk? From Center Island up?
North, yeah.
I mean, there's erosion certainly from the center growing upward. And then, I mean, when you get way up, you start to pick up some sand in certain places. But the critical area right now, that sandbar, which is migrated now, almost down, almost to the blue. If you
Yeah.
walked the other way, you would have seen the places where we lost all the houses, let's say.
Yeah.
Picked up some of the protection of that bar, and they've accreted quite a bit of sand. The bar does not go as far as the blue, and they're in, they've got significant exposure right now. So that sandbar is actually getting the waves to roll over once and
Yeah.
taking out some of the energy. And so that movement of sand is pretty good. I mean, honestly, the island is a very beach. It does have a lot of movement. Reservation Terrace certainly has a critical problem right now and is in dire need of, some solution. So,
Well, I'm glad that dredging project is just still being discussed, because I thought it kind of fell by the wayside with
well,
COVID-19
the
and everything.
Piscataqua sand
Yeah.
is not in the, all the work we did to get the drop sites approved and everything else right now. The Piscataqua sand subject to appropriations. Tracy, jump in at any point if you need to. Doesn't seem to be on the horizon. Certainly the dredging of a river looks like 2021, Tracy. So that will move forward, but it still puts them at risk for one more winter.
Wow.
And we do. That's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael, you're definitely right there. We've been
blessed. This
not getting a
past
good
winter was a
storm.
blessing.
Yep, easily could get a good storm.
Yeah.
Always scary, that. So with further updates, we did a site walk at the golf center. There have been a few issues down there. They're working to resolve them. Hopefully the landing area will be loamed and seeded soon, which will resolve a lot of the water issues up on that hill. Things are moving forward there. I attended the parade for the Triton graduation because my nephew was in that. And the kids were very enthusiastic with the drive-through parade. And I think it means a lot to them to have the families on the side cheering them on. And I just want to remind everyone that the election is June 16th. And so if you want to do your mail-in ballot, you should get that sooner than later so that everything can get counted, and encourage people to do that because it eases the burden on our election workers and the safety hazards that they could face. If anyone has remembered another update they'd like to bring forward, give a shout, and otherwise we'll move on to review of meeting minutes. Okay. I would take a motion to approve the meeting minutes for May 26, 2020.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Mike Doyle?
None.
Alicia? Alicia?
I'm sorry, I blipped you. I had technical glitch. I didn't hear anything that you said from move on to meeting minutes was the last that I heard.
Do you have any discussion on the May 26, 2020 meeting minutes?
No.
Jeff Walker?
No.
All right. All those, roll call vote for approval. Mike Doyle?
Yes.
Alicia Greco?
Yes.
Jeff Walker?
Yes.
Eamon Josephson? Yes. So the next section is previously reviewed minutes that had not been approved for the Golf Center public hearings. This is October 3rd, 2018, September 11th, 2018, August 29th, 2018, August 14th, 2018, June 26th, 2018, and June 20th, 2018. If I get a motion,
Motion.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
I can't because I wasn't at any of the meetings. I mean,
Yes.
these are before my time.
All right. Any discussion, Alicia?
I haven't had the opportunity to review all of those minutes the way that I would have liked, so I would like to move that we table the approval of the golf facility minutes until our next meeting, if that's okay with you guys.
Is there a second, Jeff?
Yep, second.
All right. Do you have anything to say about that, Jeff?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Roll call vote on tabling the minutes. Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes.
Thank you.
All right. We also have meeting minutes to be approved from May 22nd, 2018, November 28th, 2017, December 5th, 2017, December 7th, 2017, and December 12th, 2017. Motion? I know you're out of this one, Mike.
Motion.
I'll second that.
Discussion, Alicia Greco,
Nope.
Jeff Walker.
No.
All right. Roll call vote. Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. Is there a motion to sign warrant?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Mike Doyle,
No, no discussion.
Alicia,
Are there warrants?
There are warrants. Are you going to ask that either the chair or the vice chair sign on
Yeah.
behalf of the board?
So can I move that we ask the chair or the vice chair to sign the warrants?
Second.
all
I
right.
thought we already done that, though.
Well, not for this.
I thought we
warrants.
did it. I thought it was a blanket for the Zoom meetings. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Oh, I don't know that.
assumed that as well, but we can vote on it and then it's for sure. So, Jeff, do you have any discussion?
I'm good.
All right. Voting on the motion to allow the chair or vice chair to sign the warrant. Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker,
Yes.
Damon Jesperson, yes. There is no executive session, so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to
Motion
adjourn.
made. Second.
All those in favor, Mike Doyle,
Yes.
Alicia Greco,
Yes.
Jeff Walker.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for attending. Damon Jesperson says yes. Good night all.
All right.
Good night.